Hello and welcome back to Don't Take My Word for It. I'm your hostess Heather, and let's get started. What I do here is I give you 5 statements. It's your job to determine whether those statements are true, false, unproven, which just means it could be true or false and we just don't know, or a load of bull crap. So down in the comments below, place the number of the statement you're responding to. So if it's fact number 1, put a 1. And then true, false, unproven, or bull. If you want, you can use emojis. For true, let's go with a crown. For false, a fox. Unproven, a question mark. And a bull if you think it's bull crap. Today we'll be talking about historical figure Henry VIII. Did Henry VIII's body explode after death? Ugh. It is said that after Henry died, his body exploded due to gases in his body and the jousting during the travel, and that dogs lapped up his blood. Ugh. Do you think this one is true, false, unproven, or a load of bull? Fact 2, to kill a father. Back when Henry was a teenager, he used to spend a lot of time jousting with his mother's side of the family, the Yorkist side. They did not like Henry VII, and they were getting fed up with him. And so they plotted with Prince Henry to take Henry VII's place. And Henry's part was to have servants lace Henry VII's food and wine with poison, with arsenic. And this is exactly what Prince Henry did. And unfortunately, in 1509, Henry VII passed away, and Henry VIII was born. King Sir Henry VIII. When Henry was about 3 years old, an impostor named Perkin Warbeck started a rebellion against Henry VII, claiming to be the late King Edward IV's youngest son, Richard, Duke of York. Well, to combat this false claim, Henry proclaimed his son, Prince Henry, the Duke of York, and had him knighted Knight of the Bath. As Perkins and his men neared the royal nursery, Prince Henry, his mother, and siblings went to the Tower of London for their safety. The rebellion didn't last long, though, because Henry's men soon captured Perkins and pushed back his men, and eventually they placed Perkin Warbeck in the Tower of London when he never came out. So what do you think? Was this one true, false, unproven, or a load of bull? Our next story is the Sister Bride. Yep, it's as gross as it sounds. In 1509, when Henry became Henry VIII, he married Catherine of Aragon. And over the course of about 20 years, they tried desperately to have a male heir. Unfortunately, the only child they had that survived was Mary, a girl. And the last time a female tried to take the English throne, there was a war and it led to a time of anarchy. Henry did not want this. So, since he had an illegitimate son, whose name was Henry Fitzroy, he thought it would be a good idea to marry his his son, his illegitimate son, to his half-sister Mary. And this got approval from the Pope. Fortunately, Henry Fitzroy got married before his father could marry him to his sister, but thank goodness this is not what happened. So what do you think? Was this one true, false, unproven, or a load of bull? All right, our last story is a seventh wife for Henry. That's right. He was thinking about taking a seventh wife. Later in his reign, whether he got bored or Catherine Parr argued too much, he decided it was time to marry someone else, and even put it in his will that when he passed, Catherine Parr or whoever he was married to at the time should get the Queen's jewels. Well, in order to do this, he had to get rid of Catherine, so he had his henchmen come up with charges on Catherine Parr, and the charges were that she was a Protestant, which was heresy. Yes, he had separated from Rome, and he wasn't technically a Catholic anymore, but he also wasn't Protestant, so he wanted people to ride that line right between, and there were claims that Catherine was leaning more Protestant, which made it heresy. And the penalty for that is to be burned at the stake. With this charge in hand, Henry wrote up a warrant for Catherine's arrest. Luckily, by accident or design, the guard that was carrying this warrant accidentally dropped it where one of Catherine Parr's ladies, or handmaidens, found it, told Catherine what the charges were, and then carefully placed the warrant back where it was dropped. Well, with the threat of death on Catherine's head, she was terrified. So she ran to Henry and kissed his royal behind till her lips turned brown. She just told him that he was the greatest of all greats. She would never disagree with him. She was only arguing to learn from him. And she just smoothed everything out. So Henry called off the warrant, but he didn't tell his henchmen. Oh no. He waited with Catherine the next day, and then when his henchmen came with the arrest warrant in hand, Henry cussed them out, and then they went on their way, shocked. And thankfully, Catherine Parr got to live on. So what do you think? Was this one true, false, unproven, or a load of bull? Comment below. If you'd like to know where I got my information, check out these YouTubers, Reading the Past, History Calling, All Theory Inclusive, and David Starkey. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.